Hello, it's October 2024, and this is going to be a video about me personally, so if you're not interested, just skip this video. And it's in response to talking with different people and so forth regarding where I am with my health and everything else. And over the years, I've done videos about this and even updates in real time, for example. And I'm just going to briefly go over everything because, again, people ask. And I thought I will just do another kind of recap on or revisit on my health issues and so forth. And it's not a very easy video to discuss because now we're getting into something very personal. But because I have this online presence and a lot of people do care and so forth, so I'm going to do this video. I'm going to start off with some history and then eventually get to where I am today. And I would like to thank everyone who does care and ask questions and so forth. So historically, I've had some lung and heart issues apparently since I was a child, and quite possible that's linked to when I came into this world. I was born dead for 45 minutes and so forth. But anyway, that's a different topic there. But I never let it impact me when it came to being athletic. I try to be very athletic, and I was very athletic and very successful with the different endeavors that I did do throughout my childhood and onward. So I have those two issues there. And then fast forwarding to around 2010, I had my knees and my hips and my back diagnosed with severe arthritis and so forth. And there's some old injuries as well. It's just 3 different events in my life, nothing spectacular. So I've had to deal with all that, and throughout, even to this day, the pains and everything else. And we fast forward, for example, to the event of May 4th, 2013, and the injuries that I sustained there, and where the 2 former officers had left me partly disabled. So one of the biggest injuries that I sustained from that are with my hands and wrists. Severe damage, nerve and conductivity damage to both, and very poor circulation. And I was told that eventually I would lose use of my right hand. I try to be very active. As much as the pain and the swelling happens, I continue to try to push myself through it to keep using it, because I don't want to lose use of that. I have very limited use with my right hand. My left hand was a little bit better with regards to all that. And this is going to tie into something else. Actually, I'll just segue right now real quick. So it was late December of 2023, I had a fall. I did a video about this where I broke both my wrists, and part of the reason is because of the damage in the nerve conductivity and everything else not going to my hands and wrists very well. Since the injuries on May 4th, 2013, they're becoming very fragile. My hands have shrunk over the years quite a bit, just because of the injuries. So when I had that little small fall, it broke both my wrists and made them even worse now as a result. They want to do surgery, and I just didn't want to deal with another surgery in any way. And then going back to those injuries from May 4th, 2013, aside from my hands and wrists, there was other damage done. My legs were badly beaten, which caused more injuries to my knees. So that intensified the pain even more. And there was some head and neck injuries. I had some head trauma from that. And ever since then, I've had severe headaches. Never had them before. It started off intermittent, and now it's pretty much just steady with severe headaches, really, really bad headaches. And then there was some, as I said, head, neck injuries and so forth. And through some stresses and stuff, I've had some microstrokes, which affected the left side of my shoulder, neck and shoulder with microstrokes. So then that was just through stress over time. So everything's just kind of compounding slowly, I suppose. And then there's some other injuries as well. Those are the primary injuries that I sustained that are getting worse over time. And I'm just going to fast forward. And I have issues with my right shoulder as well. But anyway, fast forwarding to 2020, I was rushed to the hospital. And this ties into my current situation. And in the fall of 2020, they rushed me to the hospital, and I had what's called sepsis. Was really bad, and the doctors were saying that this started at least a couple years prior, and just kept building up to the point where they said I would die if I didn't have a surgery. And they stabilized me, and long story short, I walked out. I didn't want them to do the surgery, and I remember the surgeon there's other surgeons there too. They were really upset about this, and it had to do with my efforts in Alberta and implicating Alberta Health Services and everything else, but that's a different tangent. So once I was stable and they did some sort of treatment thing on me, I had just walked out, signed myself out, and left. And I carried that for almost 2 years. And I had some events alone, away from civilization, we'll say. And it was really bad, really bad. And so, fast forwarding a little bit, in June of 2022, I was rushed to the hospital again, where all my organs were shutting down. The doctors and the surgeons, I remember they were just floating around me, talking really fast. They were really sincerely perplexed as to why I'm still alive. And once I was able to kind of communicate, just remember them asking, about, have you seen your eyes change colors, your skin, this, and they were just, and everything just seemed to be surreal, just happening really fast. And yeah, they were surprised that I was still alive, because it had all spread. Anyway, they ended up doing the surgery, removing one of my call it minor organs, and the sepsis had caused a lot of scar tissuing, a lot of damage inside to my organs and everything inside. And one of the biggest things that was impacted, for example, was my digestive system. So my digestive system does not work mechanically, and there's nothing that can be done about it. Now, after the surgery and after many months, when I was able to travel, I went to the West Coast. There was a doctor there that said he could probably help me, stay there for 3 months, try to get some treatments and so forth. And in the end, we'll just say it didn't work. But anyway, he tried. On my way back east, I had stopped in the province to see a friend. Long story short, I ended up in the hospital again. almost died. And I was there for, I don't know, several weeks. And I wasn't really expecting it to be so close to death twice within 6 months. So that was kind of a shock for me as well. And the doctors at the time, they treated me really well and took care of me, and I got stable and everything else. And then I spent 2023 in and out of the hospital intermittently, dealing with the complications and everything else with other organs and so forth. And it was the winter of 2024 where, I believe it was, the winter 2024 this year, I was told that they wouldn't expect me to survive another major organ event. And I was dealing with that shock, and because of the complications of, for example, my digestive system not working mechanically, the muscles are not keeping, for example, the stomach acids in, because everything is controlled by muscles. So the acid's just leaking out up like into my throat and down through my digestive system. And apparently, as I understand it, this is causing cancers because of the acidity, I guess, the acid just burning away at everything. And I've had to take medications just to be able to eat. And it's been a real challenge, we'll just say. So this is where I'm at with my health right now. I don't dwell on it. I don't really think about it. I just deal with everything, with different pains and whatever is going on. You just keep moving forward. And I think it really ties into what I stress with other people. Don't be consumed by anything, good or bad. Don't be consumed by anything, because as soon as you're consumed, then it starts to impact you, not only emotionally but physically as well. So I just keep moving forward. And I look back over even the past, say, 2 years, and there's so many different details and different events regarding my health. When I start to really think about it, then I could really feel the descriptive, the trauma kicking in. I just don't think about it. Just put it on the shelf and keep moving forward. So this is what I've been dealing with primarily the past 2 years plus, with all the pains and everything else from the injuries from May 4th, 2013, and then my existing. I don't recall a time in my life now where I don't have 24/7 pain of some sort. And this is my reality. And I'm not asking for sympathy or anything else. Again, people have been asking, and thought I'd just address it all in this video. And I've made this very short. Like, I'm not going into a lot of details about different things, but one of the things I will say that I'm also dealing with, for example, with my digestive system, is internal bleeding. Nobody knows what started the sepsis initially and what's going on. I've seen so many specialists. I'm just got tired of seeing doctors and everything else, and they're just trying to figure out. But I have internal bleeding. I don't know if it's intermittent or constant, but I notice it, for example, intermittently. And they can't find the source. One method that hasn't been tried, there's a risk of the method not working and then them having to do the surgery to remove that method, which could make things even worse. So anyway, that's the long and the short of my personal recap with regarding to my health. And what people don't see, for example, especially in my videos, is the struggle that I'm going through even now as I'm recording, the discomforts, the pains, and everything else. I put on my mask, so to say, and get through it, and then have a big sigh of relief afterwards. Even when I'm out in public, I try to compose myself as best as I can. It's getting harder and harder, I'm noticing, but I don't try to mask it all, if you get what I'm saying. So anyway, if you made it to the end here and you watched this video, I just want to say thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.
Listen to this and write it down if you can't remember it. You're never going to outgrow warfare. You simply must learn to fight. I hear people saying to me, oh, when is it going to get easier? When you die.